product from the tanker when the explosion occurred. The sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Kumar Sunkwam, confirmed the incident but said the number of fatalities was yet to be ascertained. Meanwhile, the Niger State Governor Umar Bago has, through his Chief Press Secretary, Bologi Ibrahim, expressed worry over the recurring incident of tank explosions in the state. The Katsina State government has flagged off a pilot program to evaluate locally assembled electric tricycles ahead of potentially large-scale deployment for commercial transportation. The state governor, Diko Reda, was over ceremony of select five trusted members to participate in the pilot program. And the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has approved the distribution of new kits and uniforms to personnel of the Nigeria Police Force in other ranks as part of ongoing efforts to improving officers' welfare and enhancing professionalism. This was disclosed in a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi. According to the statement, the initiative aligns with the IG's vision to foster better working conditions and elevate the standards of professionalism within the force. And two civil society organizations have petitioned the Inspector General of Police, IGP, to provide an official update on the investigation into the alleged killings by Inspector Wilson Collins. The petition follows a tragic incident in Abuja on 26 August 2024, where Collins allegedly shot and killed two individuals while fatally injuring a third person. The organizations highlighted concerns over the lack of response from the Nigerian Police Force, NPF, despite public outcry, and are therefore calling for transparency, accountability, and swift action from the police. And over 200 widows of fallen police officers in Imo State have received support from the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA. The initiative, which included the provision of business equipment and food items, aims to help beneficiaries establish small-scale businesses to sustain their families. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, has the details.
The president of the association and wife of the Inspector General of Police, Elizabeth Egbetokun, led the empowerment program in Owerri, Imo State capital. She highlighted the challenges faced by families of officers who lost their life in active service, calling for greater support for their welfare.
The initiative aims to provide not just financial support, but also skills and resources that will enable these remarkable women to build sustainable livelihoods and secure a brighter future for themselves and their families.
The chairperson of POA in Imo State, Jimaima Aboki, reaffirmed the association's commitment to providing sustainable empowerment for widows.
Back on this important empowerment initiative, let us take a moment and appreciate the unwavering courage and selfless sacrifice embraced by the police officer's wife, particularly the wife of deceased and injured police officers.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed their appreciation for the empowerment program.
I am so happy. I am so very much excited because of today's program, the empowerment, it makes me to feel happy. I am so happy.
I'm a teller. Since all this, I've been working under somebody, but now I thank God I will start my own.
I am a kunu seller. I used to go out and grind every day 1,000, 1,500, at times 2,000. But now with this my machine, it will help me to save some money to support my husband. Shall I wipe away my tears?
The POA Employment Program have provided much-needed relief to widows of fallen officers, offering them tools to rebuild their lives and ensure a better future for their families. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
And the National Assembly Joint Committee on Interior has queried the Federal Fire Service. The Federal Fire Service over-identified discrepancies in the agency's 2025 budget proposal. The committee stepped down the service's budget defense as a result of the irregularities. This happened when the Federal Fire Service Controller General Jaji Idris appeared before a sitting co-chaired by Senator Adams Oshomole, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Interior, and his House of Representatives counterpart, Abdullahi Ahmed, to defend the 2024 budget performance and the 2025 proposal. Also, the National Assembly Joint Committee on Agricultural Production and Services has reiterated its support for the National Agricultural Development Fund, NADF, as part of its broader strategy to enhancing food security in Nigeria. The Executive Secretary and CEO of the NADF, Muhammad Ibrahim, said in a statement that the reaffirmation came during the NADF budget defense, where lawmakers pledged to strengthen the fund's efforts in boosting the nation's agricultural sector. He added that the legislators commended the NADF for its significant strides in 2024, particularly in facilitating sustainable agricultural development. Institutions, commands, and board affirmations to take note, adding that the sect has its headquarters in Kaduna, while its leader, Wanyukana, lives in Jos, noting that the sect might be involved in human trafficking and child separation. Meanwhile, operatives of the Benin Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arrested 25 suspected internet fraudsters in an alleged cybercrime training center in Benin City, Edo State. A statement by the commission said the suspects were arrested at their hideout, according to the anti-graft agency. The arrest was triggered by credible intelligence that indicated the apartment was being used as a Yahoo Academy or training school for internet-related fraud and other fraudulent activities. Also, suspected internet fraudsters have shot dead an operative of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in Anambra State. According to reports, the incident occurred on Friday in Onitsha, the commercial hub of the state, as eyewitnesses say the internet fraudsters, otherwise known as Yahoo Boys, suddenly opened fire on the EFCC operatives during an operation in the area. Apart from the slain anti-graft operative, one other officer and a few residents present during the attack sustained gunshot injuries. American military veterans of Igbo descent, AVID, has warned that Southeast governors risk a range of U.S. presidential sanctions, including travel ban and confiscation of assets on U.S. soil over their alleged complicity in the continued detention of reluctance of the governors to jointly write a letter to President Bola Tinubu requesting the release of Kanu to them. AVID, a body of retired and 7 military officers of Igbo extraction in the North and South American military, in a state at the reluctance of the governors to advance to the president the said letter, accusing them of non-committal towards Kanu's release. You're watching the live broadcast of News Express and Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, when News Express returns. Brazil announces Nigeria's admission as BRICS partner country. We shall bring you those details as well as business, foreign and sports stories right after this break. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned and welcome back to News Express and Global Television from the nation's capital, Abuja. And Brazil has formally announced Nigeria's admission as a partner country in the BRICS alliance. The Brazilian Foreign Ministry made the announcement in a statement, making Nigeria's BRICS 9th partner country, joining Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Thailand, Uganda and Uzbekistan. The statement says the Brazilian government welcomes the Nigerian government's decision. And now moving on to business news, the Federation Accounts Revenue has been shared to the federal government's states and the local government councils. This is according to a statement by the Director, Press and Public Relations Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Mokwa, stating that the revenue was shared at the January Federation Account Allocation Committee FAC meeting in Abuja. The communique indicated that total gross revenue of 2.310 trillion naira was available in December 2024, adding that total deduction for cost of collection was 84.780 billion naira, while total transfers, intervention, and refunds were 801.175 billion naira. The National Pension Commission has mandated the provision of bank verification numbers for all retirement savings accounts. Nigeria targets an export market of up to $79 billion through the expansion of her export capacity with the African Continental Free Trade Area Framework. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, said this at a high-level roundtable on the country's implementation of the AFCFTA protocols in Abuja, featuring AFCFTA Secretary General Wamkili Mene. Oduwole praised Nigeria's participation in the development of the Free Trade Area Agreement and leadership in the implementation of the trade agreement. Meanwhile, Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petrowan, has attributed the recent increase in premium malted spirits, PMS, otherwise known as petrol, to the rise in crude oil prices in the international market. According to Petrowan, in a statement by its president Billy Gills Harry, the benchmark for oil prices, Brent crude oil, stood at $80.85 per barrel, while WTI oil and the OPEC basket were priced at $78.82 and $81.72 per barrel respectively, adding that the prices rose to a 4-month high following the introduction of new sanctions against Russian oil by the U.S. The association explained Section 205 of the Petroleum Industry Act, which states that petrol prices are determined by market forces, indicating that the government and the NNPC no longer set petrol prices. And now moving on to the foreign scene. The Israeli government ratified the ceasefire agreement early on Saturday morning after meeting for more than 6 hours. Qatar's foreign ministry spokesperson announced in a post on X that the ceasefire in Gaza between Israel and Hamas will take effect at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Earlier, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said in a brief statement that the Israeli government ratified the agreement, adding that the deal was approved after more than 460 days of war in which Israeli forces have killed more than 46,788 Palestinians and wounded 110,453. The ceasefire will therefore see the release of 33 captives held in Gaza over the next 6 weeks in exchange for hundreds of Palestinians imprisoned by Israel. An impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol arrived at court for the first time to attend a hearing that will decide whether to extend his detention as investigators probe his failed martial law bid. Yoon, who has claimed his arrest is illegal, threw the nation into chaos on December 3rd when he attempted to suspend civilian rule, citing the need to combat threats from anti-state elements. South Korean courts will weigh whether to extend the detention of impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol after investigators arrested him. United States law enforcement agents have carried out exercises using barbed wire and concrete blocks at a crossing on the border with Mexico as tensions crept up ahead of President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. Vehicle crossings and an international bridge connecting Texas were halted for about 40 minutes, while U.S. Customs and Border Protection's CBP officers reportedly carried out training. According to reports in El Paso, the exercise began in 2019 and is aimed at ensuring that agents are prepared for potential border incidents. A Russian strike has killed 4 people in the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. Officials say the strikes in what the country's foreign minister called a heinous attack with ballistic missiles left at least 3 more wounded, while a separate overnight strike on the southern city of Zaporizhia wounded 10. Kyiv is frequently targeted by Russian drones and missiles, but deaths are rare in the capital, which is heavily protected by air defense systems and better able to fend off attacks than elsewhere in the country. And now to the world of sports. Players and officials of Enyimba FC have expressed belief that the CAF Confederation Cup journey will be revived on Sunday in Cairo, Egypt. After a disappointing draw against Al Masry in Uyo Akwa Ibom State last week, Enyimba must secure all 3 points in their final Group D match against Egyptian powerhouse Zamalek to keep their quarter-final hopes alive. The People's Elephants are currently third in the group with 5 points and face the daunting task of defeating the group leaders in Cairo, while also hoping Al Masry fails to beat Black Bulls. Fisayo Dele Bashiru is reportedly a transfer target for a number of Premier League clubs. According to Lazio News 24, Dele Bashiru is among a handful of Lazio players being monitored by unnamed Premier League clubs. The 23-year-old moved to Lazio from Turkish Super League outfit Hatayspor on loan last summer. Dele Bashiru has registered 2 goals and 2 assists in 4 appearances in the UEFA Europa League and has also scored twice in 11 league appearances for Lazio. Also in the news, the prospect of a new 100,000 capacity Old Trafford and demolition of Manchester United's historic home has taken a major step forward after a task force delivered its recommendations. Reports gathered say key figures at the Premier League giants are hopeful that enabling work could start on the project before the end of this year. The group were charged with examining whether United should refurbish Old Trafford or build a new state-of-the-art replacement on adjoining land, and can now be revealed that they have found that a redevelopment of the existing stadium, which has stood in place since 1910, would be limited to 87,000. Whereas a world-leading new venue would maximize potential and serve as the centerpiece of one of the biggest regeneration projects Britain has ever seen. In tennis, Iga Swiatek demolished Emma Raducanu to sweep into the last 16 of the Australian Open as 38-year-old Frenchman Gael Monfils stunned 4th seed Taylor Fritz. Also on day 7 in Melbourne, American qualifier Leonard Tien won in straight sets to reach the second week and extend his fairy tale run. World number 1 Jannik Sinner will step up his title defense in later action. Meanwhile, in a one-sided battle of former US Open champions Swiatek romped to a 6-1, 6-0 triumph in a statement victory as she pursues a first Melbourne crown. And now to end Global TV News Express, here's a summary of our top stories. You heard that a tanker explosion at Dikko Junction on the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway in Gurara local government area of Niger State has killed about a dozen people and injured several others. And the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has approved the distribution of new kits and uniforms to personnel of the Niger Police Force in other ranks as part of ongoing efforts to improve officers' welfare and enhance professionalism. In business news, we told you that the Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petroen, has attributed the recent increase in premium motor spirits (PMS) petrol to the rise in crude oil prices in the international market. On the following scene, the Israeli government ratified the ceasefire agreement early on Saturday morning after meeting for more than 6 hours. And in sports, Fisayo Dele Bashiru is reportedly a transfer target for a number of Premier League clubs. That's it on Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276 and free to air on Icecomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Amina Jibril. Thank you for watching and have a good evening.